Greetings, MFL Year 34 members. Time for an update. We are going to get started with some silent bidding probably within the next couple of weeks. And there are some things we probably should touch base on before we get to that point. A few things real quick. If you look at the Sleeper app, I find the phone format to be a little easier to navigate and a little more inclusive and complete than the PC version, which I am recording for you right now. But I don't know. There's some, I guess, some advantages and disadvantages to either side. You will notice again two different countdowns on the screen. The first one is going to be when our keepers lock. That is going to be on Wednesday, September 2nd, which is exactly 1 week before the season starts. And then 3 days later, we have our draft, which for now, after some discussion, we are scheduled for Saturday, September 5th. I've got it set for 7 p.m., which is a little earlier than usual, but I got to be honest, we just seem to always go late. And here in Colorado, it's not quite as bad because I get a hour advantage on you guys, but I know people got to get up on Monday, so a couple of things to talk about as far as that goes. But remember, your keepers are not even going to be set or even known really until after we get through 3 rounds of bidding. Actually, a franchise decision happens before the silent bidding. And then you get to do your keepers, and then we'll have that set up. So just so you know, last year I had it as 1 day prior to the draft. That cut it a little too close for me. It's a little bit of a process to get everything kind of set up in Sleeper for the auction. So I wanted to give myself a little extra time, so I've got it set for 3 days before. So that's why you have the 2 countdowns there. As far as planning for this season, you have the chat over here where there's a little thumbtack. I've put some important information on here. Number one, here is your carryover money from last year. So I posted this 7 months ago, thank goodness. This money does not get added to your cap space until the live auction. This is basically what we call your rookie money. And this is what you're carrying over from last year. Looks like just about everybody's got a little something that's going to help them out. And keep in mind too, we do add a few points for if you participate in the silent bidding. It doesn't matter how much your bid is. You can bid the minimum on a kicker or something like that if you really want to. But you do get a few points extra for that. So the other part of it is you get money for where you finished in the standings last year. Hooped won it last year. Congratulations to them, I guess, to me. So we get the least amount of rookie money, if you will. And looks like CDs struggled last year, so they get the most rookie money. We also, in the consolation bracket, I award a little bit of extra points to the winners in the consolation brackets, and that is also included in here. So just know that's where we're at as far as the carryover money. Here are the franchise salaries. I don't know if it's relevant or not, but I've been including some previous year's numbers with this year's numbers. This year it's over here on the left. Quarterbacks are 142. Those definitely went up. There was a Josh Allen outlier franchise salary in there that sort of, no, actually, I think it was a silent bidding salary that threw off the averages a little bit, but that's the way it's supposed to work. So 142 is the franchise quarterback number. 124 is the running back, 123 is the wide receiver, and tight ends are 47, which some might see as a bargain depending on who you're looking at there. The 2026 salary cap is 603 points. Last year was 559, so we've gone up 44 points. So not quite 10%, but we keep the 10% increase on the franchise salaries. So I don't necessarily, I guess, want to give away too much as far as the way I do things, but I feel like this is useful information league wide. I typically look at the franchise salaries as really the most I'm willing to spend on any player. If you're willing to go over that number on a player, then number one, if they're on your team, you should probably franchise them. That's always been my number one. And then I guess number two on the flip side of that is if you're not willing to pay that and somebody does come in and bid that, then you've kind of already made the decision that you would probably let them go. I have seen folks not franchise a player, and then when the bid comes in over the franchise amount, they go ahead and match it, which you can. You took the chance, and maybe maybe you're lost on the gamble, and that's fine too. But I tend to try and show a little more, hard and fast ifs and thens and buts and ors on my decision making processes. And I just really feel like when I see someone is not franchised and I feel like they should be, that gives me a pretty good idea of where I'm going to bid. And y'all have seen me bid in the past. If I bid the franchise amount on your player, then you pretty much know I thought they probably should have been franchised, and I'm willing to pay it if you're not. So it also does mean, I guess, strategically speaking, if you see me bid the franchise amount on a player, it is highly unlikely that I am going to go higher than that. So I don't know. If I'm giving too much away, then maybe I'm telling you that so I can trip you up later. You never know with me. But anyway, so I feel like with our salary cap jumping over 600, which is crazy to think about, we've got money to play with this year, that's for sure. So there is your franchise salaries. There is your carryover money, which again does not really apply until the live auction. And that is in the pinned messages in the chat. Moving on, I have some good news. Doesn't really apply to the Sleeper app. I was in town for my grandson's birthday. Well, I guess it was a little earlier than his birthday, but it was 4th of July and that sort of thing. I grabbed the MFL trophy from our previous champion, which was Gotham City. And I found a little window of time to run down to Cherry Street where Custom Craft Awards is located. And the MFL trophy has been updated with all of the champions, including last year me, the year before Gotham City, the three-peat by Toledo, which needed to be put on there, let's be honest. Really just, I guess, the sentimental value on that thing. The cup is still bent. I did tell them we're not planning on fixing that because it has some sentimental value to us. They said they're going to display it until we pick it up. If somebody wants to go get it, just let me know and I can tell them who to expect. If nobody wants to go get it, that's fine too. And next time I'm in town, I'm sure I'll swing through there. But it is paid for and it is updated. So get in touch with me if you'd like to do that. That being said, as far as the trophy goes, I am willing to just pay for that. In fact, I am not the only one who contributed to that. There is another former champion who did. I don't know if he wants to be named or not, so I won't name him. But I did not pay for that all myself. And if anybody wants to contribute, you can. $5. It would not be much. Trust me, it was not that expensive, and I'm not requiring anyone to chip in on that. But if you want to, you can. Also, speaking of money, I think, already 8 people prepaid for this year. I'm not going to really remind a lot of people about it. If it's, some people do cash apps and it's easy, and some folks it's a little more difficult. And frankly, I just don't worry about it that much. I'm still going to pay out prizes if people win, and I'm not going to stress about it too much. So as far as money goes, I think there's a little dues tracker on there. Number one, if I've got you marked paid and maybe you don't remember paying, trust me, you probably gave me something or left some prize money with me or something. So it's all good. And if you have not paid and it's a problem in any way, shoot me an email. I don't care. It's not that big a deal. We're still going to pay out. So just know that is the case. As it relates to the draft, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. Number one, I am going to try to cut down the time. We already mentioned it a little bit that we tend to run a little late. there's a couple of ways I'm going to do that. The number one thing I'm going to do is probably the first round. We'll do a little longer nomination clock, and we'll do a little longer um, bid reset. So every time someone bids, it jumps back to like 10 seconds or whatever. And I might give us like a 30-second window to lead into those bids. After the first round, I'm definitely going to cut it down some, probably like 20 seconds. And then we'll go that way for a while. And then honestly, when we get down toward, maybe one or two teams are finished, we might even cut it down to like 15 seconds, maybe even 10. I just don't want to make people have to stay up late. Um, I used to have this idea of, trying to save all these people in the auction. I wouldn't nominate people, that I wanted to try and save for later. And now I've gotten to where actually I try and throw out those players that need to have money spent on them early. And that way, there's not some outlier, weird, low salary later. Um, so just know that number one, I'm going to try to edit our timing a little bit. And then number two, I was going to talk a little bit about a couple of rule changes. Last year, I instituted a rule where if you signed a player in the silent bidding off of someone else's roster, you also got another possible keeper with that. I'm going to streamline that and simplify it this year. And if anyone objects, please let me know. And it wouldn't take like a majority. Honestly, if one or two people don't like it, then we just won't do it. But I ended up with our standard number is 12. So just know that among franchise players, signed players based upon bidding, matched players or not matched players, depending on, if you owned them or not, and bidding, and keepers. The total number, it used to be just 12. Now, what we're looking at now, though, is if you have the money, I might just let people keep however many they want. I can tell you now, I had 15 keepers last year. That 15th keeper, I had to struggle as to whether or not I really wanted to keep that 15th player. I don't know that any of us have 20 good players on our roster. So I think to make it simple is if you have the money and you want to keep the player, especially like a kicker or a defense, then fine. I think we just do it. But anyway, so there's a couple rule changes. The other rule change was brought to me by someone else, and I just wanted to bring it up again. We had a Malik Neighbors, we even call this the Malik Neighbors rule, last year, was paid a lot of money, got hurt, and got cut, which is not a problem. But there was some discussion about whether or not if that player should be cut and then signed by the same team. In the NFL, that wouldn't necessarily happen. They would have to clear waivers first. And so I feel like we need to do the same thing. So if you cut someone who got hurt or whatever, and you paid him 112 million or 112 points, I think that's fine. But I don't know that you should be the one that necessarily gets to go in and grab them back for 5 or whatever. So just know if you do cut them, you're probably leaving it open for someone else to get them, which is what happened with Malik Neighbors. And if you really want to keep them, then just keep them. You don't really get that money back in the same season. It definitely helps you in salary cap space the next year. So if that's what you're looking at, then that's fine. But I don't know that you get both the reduction in salary and the first right of refusal as it relates to matching or not matching bids. That seems a little bit like an unfair advantage, and that was what was brought to me by another player, and I think I agree. So it doesn't come up that often, but just know that that's kind of where we're at on that. Last thing, and this is again big news for long time members, and I don't know, maybe even short time members too. I have had this conversation face to face with several, and this would kind of be the first time I've got to tell everybody at once. Sandra and I have been working on an app that will deal with our silent bidding process, and we are calling it Roster Vault, at least at the moment. That is the working title, and we have we've been testing this out, and it's pretty slick. I will tell you that coding and programming and app building is infuriatingly repetitive, and I don't know, non-intuitive. You would think once you fix something, it's fixed, but yet no. Well, you fix one thing, it breaks something else that you already fixed before, and so you have to keep going back. So anyway, just know we have been testing this ourselves, and we'll probably try and get a little test group available, and so be on the lookout for a QR code in your email or maybe in a text somewhere if you want to participate in a practice run. We are going to try to when we do our silent bidding, do it on this app, and it will be right now. It's very it's disconnected from the real world. It's very much on its own little island of memory and processors. So this has not been made public yet. But if we can get through our first bidding process here, I feel like there's a chance we can really hone this thing in. There is the chance, of course, it just keeps failing. And trust me, we've had that problem. And if that's the case, so be it. We'll just go back to the old style for now. But we have put hours and thought and energy into this. And, again, maybe it turns into nothing. But I can tell you now, if it turns into something, it's going to be um, it's going to just be good, I guess. That's the best way to put it. And I would not forget the folks that were there at the beginning and helped us out and that sort of thing. So, um, like I said, we'll kind of see how this thing goes this year. Pretty good chance we don't really get it, uploaded to any app stores or anything like that until probably next year. But I do think there is a market for this, and I think as crazy as I know I know when we're in the middle of it, we all think, why do we even do this? Sometimes I'm sure, but yet we still keep coming back and we still keep doing it. And I just think there is a next level to just keeper leagues and frankly, just fantasy leagues in general. It doesn't have to just be football. I've been doing a lot of NBA lately, and I definitely can see an aspect where this would work in NBA leagues, especially like I said, keeper leagues from season to season. So I did experiment a little bit with hockey. I actually did that with Kevin this year, and I was not that impressed with fantasy hockey. It didn't do much for me. But I think the way the WNBA is growing, the way some of these other leagues are going, you can do some Formula One, you can do some golf, there are some ways to make this thing go. So I'm just a teacher. What do I know? But that is huge. So I will put out at some point a separate video as it relates to our silent bidding process, and whether or not, if you want to do the app, you can do it that way. If you prefer just to text me your bids and do it that way, we can do that too. And I can actually enter them into the app for everyone who is using it as well. So that pretty much covers where we're at. Bottom line right now is this: if you're wondering what should you be doing as a member of MFL Year 34. Number one, you should be considering who you would like to franchise. And again, those franchise numbers are located in the pin post in the chat. So if you want to know what position you want to franchise, there are the numbers. And I guess for the record, if you want to franchise a kicker or a defense, both of those are 6 points each. So if you want to do that, you can. But these are the more popular choices. In fact, I don't know that anybody has ever franchised anything other than a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, or tight end. I was going to show you all real quick. If you go to that little league settings bar up there, there is a league history. It doesn't show it on the PC version, but it does show it on the app version. So if you look on your phone, you'll be able to see it. But I have loaded all the previous champions and all the previous second place finishers into that. I've also put in just a few records that I still have available to me. If you want to go look at those, you can go look at those. I think that wraps it up for now. And again, let's get ready to have our franchise players pretty much settled by probably a couple of weeks from now. I would say a week and a half, something like that. And we'll get started with the MFL Year 34. You guys stay safe out there.